Hey everyone, Lynn Tucker Carnivore here, and happy Saturday. Uh, Lots has been going on, and a lot of people are very excited about Meat Stock that's coming up and the release, finally, of the Healing Humanity, the Power of a Proper Human Diet documentary that we've all been waiting for. Over 3 years of filming and interviewing and traveling all over the world for Carrie and Adam, and John's huge job of editing once they gave him all the footage and all the backup and all the editing and all the color correcting and all the this, that, and the others, and all the wonderful people that Carrie and Adam have met, as well as connecting with our fine carnivore doctors that explain why everything has been working out so well for all of us, and all this new information that our present doctors, our local doctors, probably have no clue about. Well, mostly have no clue about. Well, pretty much all of them don't have any clue about it. And the different experiments that all of us have gone through, and those of us who have had a lot of healing to do, those of us like myself. I told you in my story about carnivore that I really didn't have to go carnivore, according to people that know. I thought I did because I listened to all of you and all of the pain you were in and the struggling and the things you had to overcome and the healing that you got because of it and the weight you lost. And all of us, our eyesight, well, many of us, that improved, our muscles that improved. How's mine doing? Let's find out. Oh, yeah, baby. It's still there. Take that, Dr. Baker. And the things I've learned from meeting our great doctors. Dr. Kilt's telling me, will you stop exercising so much, Lynn? I know you like to feel strong. I know you want your Maggie arms. Maggie, the Alberta rancher, who is in her mid-80s and looks like she's about 42, has muscles like she was a bodybuilder because of working the ranch and just being healthy for her whole life. Dr. Kilt's telling me, you really ought to think about cold animal fat butter rather than melted butter, because a lot of people can't handle melted butter. Oh yeah, I remember hearing that. Duh. And other things like if your weight stalls, it could be dairy. It could be that you're not being as strict a carnivore as you should be. It could be the coffee that's giving you jitters or that's creating cortisol and stress. And whenever the body's stressed, you got to think primally. It's going to think to itself, well, she's being chased by a bear, or he is, and I need to, reserve my resources so that if I get in a survival situation, I'll be able to handle what the body needs. So we stall out. All these things that are now becoming next thought, automatic, something that just comes to us and we go, oh, that's what that is, as opposed to trying to figure it out and discover what's going on with us and being able to listen to our bodies. I'm hungry this morning, but I wasn't yesterday morning. Why is that? Maybe it's because my body needs something today that it didn't need yesterday. Or maybe I was clearing too much brush yesterday and I depleted my resources and I gotta bulk up again. That happens to me a lot. And I just listened to Dr. Elizabeth Bright, where she said she had to quit her paddleboarding love and some of her, if not all, martial arts love. And I used to be just so ecstatic about kickboxing, just loved it. But it takes a lot of energy. And if you're not taking in as much fuel as you're burning, well, you get thinner and thinner. It just makes sense. Most people say add more fat. Well, that's great, but you also have to watch how your digestive system is handling the fat. If things are getting too soft, you need to cut back on the fat. If things are getting too, chunky and difficult, then you need to add more in. So right where your body is. We've learned so much because of carnivore. I learned I can't handle egg whites or dairy. I used to love an egg white omelet with cheese and, maybe ham in there. Egg whites taste so good to me with salt on them and butter. I hate yolks. Just loathe the flavor of yolks. And that's where the superfood is. So naturally, if I eat eggs, I have to have some whites with it. And I even tried scrambling. It just doesn't do it. So you find out so much about yourself. Look at Mikhaila Peterson. She had to even go to the extent of not only just eating a lion diet, which is ruminant meat and salt and water, but she had to go to a non-aged meat diet on top of everything. Talk about hard to find. Luckily, she had the resources. But now she's coming back toward the fact that she is healing. It's taken her years, but it took a long time to get where she was. It took a long time for a lot of us to get where we were. I never really abused my body that much. I never really got too overweight. I mean, 5'4", 125 was my really huge point, and that was when I was in like 19. When I think a lot of women, they're going into young ladyhood and maybe the body thinks, oh, this is going to be soon time for us to have babies. We better, bulk up. I don't know. Perhaps something natural like that goes on with our hormones and we store more fat because we know we're going to need it in the coming years and babies might be on the horizon. Well, I don't know, but if you start thinking primally, it starts making more sense. And so I didn't really need to. I had great blood work, all the HDLs, the LDLs, the lipid panel to die for. But at that time, grapeseed extract was like the cool thing for a super powered antioxidant. And I was taking it because of my former job in San Diego. And this vendor that was just a delightful man from Minnesota too, had this as a product that was the #1 allergy relief medicine in Finland for like 30 years. And he went over there, found it, and realized all the benefits of grapeseed extract. And when I was at QVC, I even was talking to a lady who had done her thesis on that in medical school and swore by it. But that's what we had at that point. Nobody knew about carnivore. And I'm sure if we had added the two together, my goodness, how much better off we'd be. And who knows if that's where I had some of my success to be able to deal with some of the crap I was doing in my body. I mean, working those awful non-standardized overnight hours where you're working sometimes, you're not working sometimes, your hours vary. It's not like you have a set schedule. And the only thing you can keep down is that disgusting Boost Ensure and cereal, So try to live on that. We all know how bad that is for us now. And then to do those horrible overnights and your brain is like starved for anything that you can give it in the nutrient department. And you start saying things that you don't mean to say and things out of order. And you're like, there's a potential 70 million people watching me make this mistake. And I look like a total airhead. And it's because I can't think anymore. So maybe you're in that brain fog. Maybe you're confused or depressed or have anxiety about just going out and doing your shopping. I mean, that's the nutrient that you're missing. That's your brain going, I need some proper fuel. And all of this we're learning because of carnivore. It's just remarkable, astonishing, and oh, so enlightening. The fact that we know so much more now and we can help each other out. And so many people that we've talked to, and they all have that little light bulb that kind of goes off going, could I do this? And so I always want to talk to them about going back on my channel or Jim's, Ribeye Ranger, that talks about our 500th day. I think I'm almost at 20, 21, something like that, days now. But that video really had a lot of tips and tricks of what we went through And we went through the same stuff everybody else does. We tell you, go slow at the beginning. I just went crazy. I mean, my brother's diet, because of his cancer at the time, the best he knew how to do was basic keto, but not enough keto to help the whole situation, and certainly not carnivore, which would have really helped him. So we kind of transitioned, but I still loved my grains. I loved a sandwich. I loved sourdough bread. I didn't go on, gouge myself on it, but I liked it. I liked a sandwich. I liked that feeling full that a couple of slices of bread gave me, and I loved my pasta meals. I mean, some of the best things I've ever eaten in my life. You may want to ask me about summer spaghetti. Unbelievably great. And to give all that up, that's got to be telling you something about the powerful benefits of carnivore. For me to say, I don't really need that. And my beloved Dr. Pepper too. I wasn't a crazy person on Dr. Pepper, but that is so good. And why settle for one flavor when you can have 23? And it was in the motherland. I lived in Texas. So I weaned myself off of that before I even started carnivore. We ate what my brother ate, which was lean red meat, spinach, strawberries, bananas, eggs. I didn't know. He didn't either. But wouldn't it seem that that would be healthy? Yeah. That's what we were told was healthy. So you got to question everything they're telling you is healthy. At this point, that's a pretty good plan. And then when you start going back and you learn history about Rockefeller and Kellogg and Keyes and everything they did that created the funding and created the profit for what we are right now. And doctors were all taught to prescribe and not to heal. They were never taught, go find a root cause. Why do you think we all liked that TV show, Dr. House? Because he actually wanted to find out what was going on. For once, everybody else was, that's how you feel? I'll just write you a prescription. That's how you feel? Symptom, prescribe. Symptom, pill. And then the pills had side effects. And those pills had side effects. And so on and so on. So then our food. Our food was all created to touch the bliss points in our mouth by professional food makers that knew how to do that to us, so that commercial, I bet you can't eat just one. You couldn't. It wasn't all our fault, but now it is, because now we know. And RFK Jr. is trying desperately and going up against the biggest organizations that have the most money and the most to lose. I pray for his safety every day. He is really kicking the hornet's nest, and God bless him for having the huevos to do that and to stick with it and to get yelled at by Congress every 5 seconds. You're doing this, you're doing that. And all he's doing is common sense. And they can't see that because it has something to do with the other side. It's like, you guys, we're all on the same team. I mean, some of us shouldn't be, but we all basically are trying to eat well, not be a burden to our families, not have to be wheeled around in a wheelchair, not have to spend all kinds of money on medicine and on our health. Instead, live a long, happy, prosperous, contributing, energetic, healthy life where we're grateful and we're thankful and we're feeling blessed. So continue with your carnivore. This has been long enough. And I'll check in with you again next week, and hopefully we can find out from Carrie Mann of Homestead How, or Adam Lacey of Carnivore Today, or maybe anywhere else. Jen, Carrie's wife, said she was going to do some videoing of people's testimonials at the Meat Stock event. So between that and the reactions of everyone that they're going to have when they see Healing Humanity, the power of a proper human diet, firsthand, you guys, we are the living foundation for all of the change that's about to happen. And we need to be the light that would lift another out of darkness with the wonderful information that we've learned. Have a great day. See you soon. Bye.